Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Is my Wi-Fi router toxic? And this is so important. I'm so glad that we're talking about this today. Everyone's got a Wi-Fi router in their house. I mean, tell me that there's somebody you know that has no Wi-Fi router in their house or at their work or at the gym or in every store that you walk into. Literally every point of sale system is now run off these Wi-Fi routers. Even when I go to the gas station, you may not know this, but the gas station pumps are now connected to the internet. So even the pumps here that we have in town, like I refuse to go to one of the gas stations here because they have facial recognition at the gas pumps. I'm in this little town in Wisconsin, everyone, like this little Wisconsin town. And if I walk up to those pumps, they can read my face and charge my credit card. You know, if I choose to participate in their system and give them my credit card for the facial recognition. So I can just walk up, it'll scan my face, and I can pump gas. Now, I don't choose to do that, but I don't think people are really aware of all the connectedness that's all around you. The gas station itself is like a super old school gas station, but when you walk into the actual shop, like most people don't walk into the gas station. They just pump their gas, they put in their credit card, and they leave. Go walk in there sometime. There's like internet cables and Wi-Fi routers like all over the place. I mean, everywhere. So these little devices are insidious. They are everywhere you go. And one of the things that I think is really important is to understand where these are sitting in your house. Number one, because I think I'm going to show you today in a way that will erase any doubt in your mind whether or not these really are toxic or not. So I am showing a screenshot of just a Wi-Fi router. It's just an image I grabbed off of the internet that shows what a Wi-Fi router looks like. They're getting more and more spaceship looking than ever before. They used to be these little boxes, and now you find everything from these things with giant antennas that look like hovercrafts, all the way to these white square boxes that are found to extend Wi-Fi signals through the house. Now, we're not even going to talk about the 5G Verizon routers that everyone's starting to put into their house to make sure that they get 5G pulled into their house so the Internet of Things can come alive. Don't do that. Don't be one of those people. So everyone knows what a Wi-Fi router looks like. If you don't, please take a look at a screenshot of one because you really want to know where that is in your house. I know people that have them under their beds in their bedroom. It's like, hey, it's out of the way. I don't have to see it. I'll put it under my bed or under my chair at work so I get really good coverage on my laptop. So let's just talk through that. I'm showing a screenshot on my laptop of a microwave oven. All right, so why, what's the point of showing a microwave oven? And, there's people that won't use microwaves. We always hear that Russia banned microwave ovens from their entire country. And we are some of those people that don't have a microwave oven. And I've never had a microwave oven in any of the homes that I've purchased or lived in, unless it was a rental and then I unplugged it. So why are we looking at microwave ovens? It has nothing to do with your Wi-Fi router and your cell phone, right? Well, take a look at the photo that I have on the right-hand side of my screen, and it shows the frequency that the microwave oven operates at. And you can, I'm sure most people have microwave ovens. Just go to your oven, pop open the door, and usually, just like on a car door, on the inside of the microwave door, there will be a sticker, and it tells you something about the microwave. Specifically, it will tell you the frequency that the microwave runs at. And this is a frequency of light, invisible light in this case. Just like we have ultraviolet light and infrared light, those are invisible light frequencies. And they're at a very specific frequency range. They're wavelength ranges. So the frequency here that the microwave runs at is 2450 megahertz. So we can convert that by just moving some decimals over into gigahertz. That's 2.4 or 2.45 gigahertz. All right, so that's your microwave oven, and I think we can all agree none of us are going to stick our heads in the microwave oven. We don't want anything to do with that. Please look at our YouTube channel for microwave. There's like it's a 30-second or 45-second video where I stand in front of the microwave at a friend's house with a microwave meter to measure cell phone radiation or microwave radiation. And that microwave oven leaks so bad that I can be outside the house and I'm still getting microwaved from the microwave oven that's on with the door closed. It's an important video to watch. I think it's well worth knowing that those microwave ovens are in no way keeping the microwaves inside. So we all agree we don't want to be microwaved like from a microwave oven. And you just looked at your microwave oven. Everyone should have paused this and gone to really look. It's either on the back of the microwave, underneath it, but most often it's just popping open the door and it's on this usually silver metallized sticker inside the microwave door, along the edge of the door when you pop it open. So you now know that your microwave oven runs at 2.45 gigahertz or 2450 megahertz. And now I'm going to show you, this is a Wi-Fi spec. So this is the most typical specifications of what Wi-Fi routers run at. And I'm just showing an image, and they say the Wi-Fi frequency is 2.44 gigahertz. Now I'm going to show another photo here. This is the IEEE standard. That's the electrical engineering standards for Wi-Fi frequency bands, and it's 2.4 gigahertz. That's 2400 megahertz. That's it exactly. You know, some Wi-Fi actually runs at 2.45 gigahertz, but you're basically running your Wi-Fi router at exactly the same frequency as the microwave oven. So if you wouldn't stand in front of the microwave oven when it's on, why would you be willing to put the Wi-Fi router under your bed or under your chair at work and microwave yourself all day, every day for the rest of your life? It seems a little counterintuitive. So now you know that the Wi-Fi router runs off the same frequency as your microwave oven. Now, in order for your cell phone to give off a microwave signal, remember, cell phones don't just they don't just receive microwave signals from your Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi, your cell phone data, and your cell phone signal for calling. Those are all different antennas. That's like 3 to 4, sometimes more antennas built inside the cell phone. They don't just receive signals, they give off microwave signals, looking for a device, looking for a tower, looking for a Wi-Fi router. So your cell phone is also giving that same frequency off, and most often that's usually parked in our pocket. It's next to our bed when we sleep, usually right next to our head, sometimes under our pillow. Those of you who are doing that, please stop doing that. Okay, so same frequency as the microwave oven. That's probably something you didn't know. You can check that out yourself. The back of your Wi-Fi router probably has a sticker just like your microwave does, and it can show you that it's the same frequency. So I'm just showing now the electromagnetic spectrum that we know of. So this is usually shown as a wavelength or waves per second, which is the frequency of invisible and visible energy that is on our Earth, and it comes from the sun. So the sun gives off, gamma rays and X-rays. It gives off microwaves, but it gives off very, 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 very little microwave radiation that hits the Earth. We have polluted our environment with these invisible microwave signals over and over at an extent that's 1 with 18 zeros after it, more microwave radiation. That's a quintillion times more microwave radiation than the sun gives off that hits the Earth. We're putting that through our environment millions, zillions of times every second it's passing through our bodies. So this electromagnetic spectrum is just showing the different places that these frequencies of invisible energy or invisible light sit. And we see that there's visible light, so red, yellow, blue, green, purple. Then there's invisible light that we're all familiar with. Ultraviolet gives us our sunburn or our tan and our vitamin D. And infrared light, which we use for our garage door openers, we use for our remotes, for the television. That's everywhere. And we're used to it. And it's invisible. And it obviously has an effect on the human body because ultraviolet can burn us even though it's invisible. And infrared can increase collagen production. It can speed up the rate at which we make energy in the body. It can heal wounds. And that's why we use these infrared lights for healing the body that people will pay lots of money for. So we know that these invisible energies affect the human body. So why would microwaves be any different? We know that X-rays are invisible and they affect the body. Well, it turns out that radio waves, microwaves, radar, sonar, all of these things do affect the human body. And we're going to show you exactly how in this next slide that I guarantee most people have never heard of, yet here it is. I'm showing the National Toxicology Program, which is the National Institute of Health program. And this is the coolest thing ever. The United States wanted once and for all to put the question to bed, do cell phones affect humans in a negative way? And what did they find? Well, let's just take a step back. They decided to put this question to bed once and for all and hired the best cancer scientists in the world to run the study. They spent millions and millions of dollars for the study design and for the study to run, and it took 10 years to run this study. This was not an insignificant study. It was finally to just tell people that cell phones are safe and you don't have to worry about it. Unfortunately, you can find this. It is public. And here's what it says. I'm just going to scroll down and I will read this to you. That, first of all, the study was started to be performed in 1999. How many people had cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, Bluetooth, and cell phone towers around them in 1999 versus the number of devices around us today? So let's just say this underrepresents our exposure today. So 1999 is when it was started. And they did use mice. This is how you do cancer studies, okay, everyone? When you run a cancer study, you don't try to give humans cancer and then study how many of them got cancer. You study mice. That's how anything that someone tells you causes cancer was determined, was using mice, all right? So this is just how it's done. So don't be like, oh, this was done on mice. It's not done in humans. Anything like smoking, whatever it is, the studies that were done using this best-in-class methodology. And it even says right on their website, I'm reading, what did the study find? And here they found clear evidence, and this is only 900 megahertz cell phone radiation that they used, one frequency. Today, we're surrounded by thousands and thousands of frequencies all at once, not just one. So they found clear, this is a quote, clear evidence of tumors in the hearts of male rats, some evidence of tumors in the brains, and some evidence of tumors in the adrenal glands of the rats. Okay, so now I am going to scroll down. I'm not sure it's on this page. They've got multiple. This is the interesting thing is they have multiple different websites sharing this study data because they really did not want to publish it. It should have been published in 2009, 10-year study. It was not published till 2014 under Freedom of Information Act because they refused to publish it because the world-class cancer scientists that ran the study said cell phones cause cancer. And clear evidence and some evidence, I'm going to go to the next exact same study, just a different website from the U.S. government. So this one's actually National Toxicology Program, which is part of the NIH.gov website. This is a .gov website. I'm going to go to another .gov website. It's the same NIH website, but there's a different write-up of this study. High exposure to radio frequency radiation is associated with cancer in rats. That's the name. That's the title of this page. And they start to tell you, what does clear evidence mean? That's where I love. So the NTP, National Toxicology Program, I'm reading this, has only 4 categories of evidence that something causes cancer. What's the highest level of evidence that something causes cancer? Which means it causes cancer and everyone should know that. Clear evidence. So what did we see in this cell phone study? That there was clear evidence it causes cancer. There's no better study and there's no higher level of evidence that something causes cancer. So let me just read you the 4 categories of cancer-causing evidence. Clear evidence, which is the highest, some evidence, equivocal evidence, or no evidence. The study found both clear and some evidence. The two highest categories of cancer caused by cell phones, and this was using 2 and 3G cell phones, which if I scroll to the top, it tells you right here at the top of the study that it used National Toxicology Program releases final reports on rat and mouse studies of radiofrequency radiation that used 2G and 3G cell phone technology. We're on 5G, everybody. What do you think about that? I think your Wi-Fi router is already definitively proven toxic because we already have the studies. Now, we're just going to move on to a couple other things. I've just got this is a document. I actually have a physical copy of this document, and the document title is World Health Organization Setting the Standard for a Wireless World of Harm. Okay, so there's a whole report you can read on wireless technologies. This is something that people tend to ignore. I'm sharing a screenshot, and it says millimeter waves and mind control. We'll just gloss over that because how could we possibly bring that into our awareness? We don't want to think about things that are uncomfortable. Okay, so we'll skip over the mind control piece for a minute here. This was a really great article by The Nation. I have hard copies of all these things because I just think that they're going to get erased from the internet. And you cannot find these unless you know how to search. Trust me, because they bury them. So this article, and it was written by some of the best journalists in the world, Pulitzer Prize winning journalists. The article is called How Big Wireless Made Us Think That Cell Phones Are Safe, which they're obviously not if they made you think they are. So there's a whole bunch of information on here on how the wireless industry acts like the tobacco industry to cover up any negative evidence of wireless harm. Okay, next. Oh, this is another one we want to ignore. I'm sorry, but this is on the National Institute of Health.gov website, and it's titled Manipulation of Nervous Systems by Electric Fields. This is a patent. And it's telling you how to manipulate emotions in humans using electric fields. That means that can be ported over to your cell phone, which creates an electric field. And this is right on the US government's website about how to manipulate people. Using the electric fields, they can induce panic attacks, tremors, seizures. I mean, people don't know about this stuff. This was a patent that was produced in 1993. It was granted as a patent in 1999. Not everything is patented, people. So if you want to know about things that your cell phones or your televisions can do, they're not going to make a patent out of it. They're going to keep those secret. It's interesting that this one is public. And it honestly, this inventor, Hendrikus Luce, go ahead and search this person's name, Hendrikus Luce. You'll find quite a few patents on mind control. And I guarantee that person doesn't exist. It's not a real person. But see what you can find out about that. Let me know. Okay, this is really important. I love that this website is out there. This was a 2012 website, has been updated in 2020. It's called bioinitiative.org. And these are the 5,500 peer-reviewed published studies that show how wireless radiation affects humans. So there's biological effects of these things, and we can find them. There's a report, there's studies after study after study, and they're all linked here on bioinitiative.org. And if you just want to see like a quick summary of what all these studies show, you go to this radio frequency color chart. So I'm sharing on my screen. It's a color chart. You can download it as a PDF. I'm going to blow this up on my screen. And it shows you in living color whether the wireless radiation caused stress proteins to be created, had reproductive or fertility effects, oxidative or DNA damage, disrupted calcium metabolism, created brain tumors, broke the blood-brain barrier, affected sleep, learning behavior, memory, or just regular behavior, cancer, cardiac, blood pressure effects, and these are all summarized by study in a color-coded PDF. And you can see what the study was, what the year it was created, and based on the color, it'll tell you if it caused DNA damage or altered mood or affected sleep or created potential cancer. So this you can find from bioinitiative.org. So when people say, well, we don't really know whether cell phone towers or Wi-Fi is harmful, the studies are all here. They've already been done by the U.S. government, the U.S. military, other nations, and they're all summarized here for everyone that can view them. So With that said, you probably want to turn your Wi-Fi off at home, but you've got all these devices that use Wi-Fi. So instead of being scared and worrying about it, which is not helpful, I'm going to show you exactly how to do something about it and still be connected. Number one, there's a video on our YouTube channel, and it's called How to Hardwire Your House to Reduce EMFs. I show you how to hardwire, which is faster than Wi-Fi, and there's no wireless radiation running through your house, your body, your kids, you while you sleep. So you can watch this video.
No, but seriously, I'm on Wi-Fi, and you have all these cords. What is wrong with you?
Okay, so you can watch this video, and we're gonna teach you how to turn your Wi-Fi off. First of all, most people don't realize that it's easy to turn your Wi-Fi off, but it's not known how to do it. It's not like you can just walk up to the router and turn off the Wi-Fi. You have to do it through your computer. Interesting, huh? So I show you in this video how to turn your Wi-Fi off, and I'm going to show you right now how to do that at the end of this video, as I show you a few other things that you can do. So I also have an article that's up on our website called How to Hardwire Your Home for Cell Phone and Computer Use. It's got some photos and some ideas of how to hardwire these different things. All right. And your cell phone has a Wi-Fi antenna. It produces Wi-Fi. You might want to turn that on airplane mode and hard connect your phone and still be able to use Facebook, Instagram, email, WhatsApp, whatever you want to use. You can still do it with your phone on airplane with no antennas turned on. And if you don't want that cell phone producing frequencies that manipulate you, Hendrikus Luce, I'm talking to you, at night from your bedroom when you use that cell phone as an alarm clock, stick it in one of these Faraday cages. Now, I know like we sell Faraday cages and they're not that expensive. They look really good. This is an older version. We now have very stylish versions up on our website, PrimalHacker.com, that you can buy. But honestly, if you just want to be cheap about it and just use any solution you already have at home, then you can use a Mylar chip bag, potato chip bag, those foil-lined chip bags. Throw your phone in there or wrap it in tinfoil. If we remember Ghislaine Maxwell, she came to the U.S., she was arrested, she's on trial now. She was arrested, and read the article about what they found her phone in. It was wrapped in tinfoil. It's called a Faraday cage. Well, you can put your phone in a Faraday cage so it doesn't give off signals that you don't want manipulating you during the night. Yes, your alarm clock will still work. So the sound signal still comes through. So these are just a photo of a Faraday cage, and I ran a test. You can run a test on your cell phone to see if your Faraday cage actually works. So if you're going to use a Mylar chip bag or a piece of tinfoil to wrap your phone in, you can open up this software on your phone, and it will tell you if it loses connection to all your devices.
You put a microwave emitting device. So again, this is a
I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like.
Measures microwave. And what it tells me how to use it. Let's try that again. So hang on, we're going to try it again. Hit pause.
So you can see this is the app, and the app is showing where it lost connection with any connected devices. And it's losing connection when you put it into the Faraday cage back. I'm trying to see, and it will actually tell you, like, did it lose connection to Bluetooth? Did it lose connection to Wi-Fi? Did it lose connection to these other things? It's a really simple app. This is a video I'm sharing. It's on our YouTube channel. You can just find it on YouTube and look it up, and it will show you how to determine that your Faraday bag, your potato chip bag is actually working, right? So you've got a solution for your phone. Turn it on airplane mode, put it into a Faraday bag, stop being manipulated. Next, you could, if you have to use Wi-Fi at your house and you can't hardwire, you can just take a little remote control, and this remote control can connect to your Wi-Fi router, and when you go to bed, you press the button, it magically turns your Wi-Fi off, and when you wake up, you press another button, it magically turns your Wi-Fi on, and you don't have to be bombarded with your Wi-Fi router all night long. So this video is going to walk you through.
I mean, nobody's ever going to be optimally to use.
So anyway, I'm showing you how to
turn on in the morning without you doing anything.
So there you go. So I'm just sharing in a video, it's on our YouTube channel, how to plug your Wi-Fi router in to a remote control. And finally, if you don't like the remote control option, you can plug your Wi-Fi router into a timer, like a Christmas tree timer. Get one off Amazon. Excuse me. Pick one up off Amazon for less than $10 probably. plug your router into it and set it for 10 o'clock at night. It turns off. Set it for 7 o'clock in the morning. It turns on. You don't have to do anything, and your Wi-Fi is off all night. So I've got a video that shows you how to plug your Wi-Fi into that timer and how to set it up. Super simple, and now you've got a complete solution to be Wi-Fi free at your house. The other way to do it I want to walk you through is that you can also turn your Wi-Fi router on and off permanently. Well, you can turn it back on this way as well, but you can basically disable it so that it's never on until you choose it to be on by using your settings. So you could go into these settings, you enter your router password, and you access your router and you turn off the Wi-Fi. So here, your router is going to have a number associated with it. It's going to look like this across the top. And you type that number in and it brings you to your Wi-Fi router. You put in the password and it'll give you the password in the instructions that came with your Wi-Fi. The passwords are almost always the same, which means make sure you change it. But all you do is so simple. Go to Wi-Fi settings. It's going to bring up your Wi-Fi settings. Look at mine. They are off. Both the 5 gigahertz. This is not 5G, everyone. 5G is a different wavelength, a different frequency. It's not 5 gigahertz. It's 8 gigahertz and higher. And it's also somewhere below 1,000 gigahertz. Sorry, below 1 gigahertz. Into the megahertz region, there's some 5G, low 5G frequencies in there. There's some mid 5G frequencies above the 5 gigahertz. Anyway, 5 gigahertz does not mean 5G, so don't be afraid of it. You've got usually 2 frequencies on your router, 2 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. 5G means 5th generation, not 5 gigahertz. So ignore that. Don't think it means 5G. Although some of the routers you're going to be getting, especially those from Verizon, those are going to be 5G. So beware. Anyway, you can see mine are off. If I wanted them on, I would toggle this to on and my Wi-Fi would be on. And then when I want it off, I toggle it to off. Mine is permanently set to be off. So mine will never be on. I don't use Wi-Fi. I am completely hard connected from my phone, my iPads, my laptops, everything. Same with my kids. We don't use Wi-Fi at the house. Therefore, I don't have to worry about this bioinitiative.org study list of thousands and thousands of studies because my Wi-Fi is turned off, my cell phones are on airplane mode, and I use a microwave meter to measure that there's no or extremely low microwave radiation in my house. So here's just like some summaries of all the studies on the bioinitiative.org, but there are thousands of them linked right to this page, so you can find them for yourself. So good news, bad news. This little Wi-Fi router that's sitting in your home can be very toxic, and you can still have it because you can disable it, still use it as a router to plug in a cord and then connect your devices, your laptops, your smartphones, even your video game consoles to a hard connected line and not have them be on Wi-Fi. Those smart TVs, even when they're turned off, I kid you not, get a microwave meter and try it. Turn your smart TV off. It is still producing a huge amount of Wi-Fi from it. Huge. Like, it's insane how much it's producing, even when it's literally turned off. The only way to stop the radiation from those smart TVs is to unplug them or put them on a power strip and turn the power strip to off. That's the only way. If it's plugged into the wall and it's drawing power and it's turned off, it will still draw power through the wall to run the Wi-Fi router in your smart TV. It's not off. Trust me, you can test it. I have tested it. You have to literally unplug it or put it on a power strip and turn the power strip off. So there is nothing coming into it. But the cool thing is, like, there's a way around all of this. You can make every place that you work and live safe, completely safe from the Wi-Fi router by using these hard connected cables. I think everyone needs to go out and do that. It is really not that expensive. It is not that hard to do. And there's just a slight learning curve when you figure out, like, where do you run the cord to connect to your phone. And once you do that, or you could pay someone to run all the different wires and cords through your home in the walls, which would be even better. Everyone, please go out and do that. Let me know what other questions you have on EMF and Wi-Fi.